Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of a new Trekkie. My 5-year mission to search out Star Trek media, to seek out our fans and merchandise, to boldly go where no fan has gone before.
Greetings and salutations, so we're back to talk about more episodes from TOS. In this case, looking at The Way to Eden and The Cloud Minders. Let's go ahead and look at the first episode, which is The Way to Eden. This episode was done by Arthur Hinnerman and as well as Michael Richards, which is also a pseudonym for DC Fontana. But what happened in this episode, though? Well, in this episode, the Enterprise is hijacked by hippie-like groups obsessed with finding a mythical paradise. I'm gonna be honest, when I was watching this episode, since there was a lot of moments where actors had the opportunity to sing, play music, and all that,
long time back when the galaxy was new, man found out what he had to do.
I was a little bit surprised after watching it that I thought, like, I'm really surprised that Nichelle Nichols wasn't in this episode. Mostly because I just always thought, like, say, that she would have loved to have been an episode that had given her the opportunity to sing and all that. Because she was a theater actress, so. And then when you are an actress in that field, you're always wanting to have that opportunity to do your craft and like that. But honestly, I gotta say that I thought, like, say, some of the symbolisms and ideas that were in this episode, whether it was the idea of Dr. Southern being, like, say, like a leader, sort of like in the vein of like a Marilyn Manson or something, like, say, we are going to a place like that is like pure paradise and all that stuff. And I'm also gonna say that although the characters would be described as hippies, I'd also say that like the bit of ideals that they're going for, like Dr. Severin, he seems more of like, although would want to describe him as a Manson kind of figure, since he's willing to go to where he wants to go to at extreme lengths. I do have to say, I would describe him also as, like, say, almost like a religious leader. Sort of like, say, I'm trying to think, who is it? The Jonestown guy. Basically, sort of like, say, using also, although he's not using religion as his means, put the way he is going to try to get there and say, hey, is almost like a religious kind of perspective in a way.
Bones? Poison.
I could totally be wrong about this, like, idea. But honestly, I gotta say the acting from this episode was honestly pretty good. The actors did a pretty good job, whether they were being asked to be goofy or having Spock, Leonard Nimoy, having the opportunity to play an instrument or something like that. Overall, this is an okay episode. This is not an episode that I would say, you gotta check it out. But that's just what I think. Let's go ahead and look at an episode, which is the episode The Cloud Minders. This episode story was written by David Gerald and Oliver Crawford. But what happened in this episode? Well, in this episode, Captain Kirk races against time to acquire plague-fighting minerals from a world suffering from a grievous social class disparity. I have to say that I thought the set designs for this episode were honestly pretty good. I like whether it was like, say, the matte painting.
Stratos, Captain. City actually floating in the sky.
Looks as tranquil as its reputation in it.
It is one of the most interesting metropolises in the galaxy. Have you ever visited here, Captain?
Once. I didn't have time to look around.
Of the floating city and all that at the beginning of the episode. And, well, I think the acting is rather good for this episode. I will also say that one of the issues, though, I feel like for this episode, though, is the fact that since it was season 3 of the show, it's so, like, say, this episode has, like, say, another political leader that is trying to say, hey, we have these other groups, known as the, triglyphics, and then, like, say, another group, basically they are against each other, there's a social class going on, and all that, and basically the leader, he is basically just, at first he's just like saying, yeah, sure, I'll help you out, but as the story goes along, we see two different sides of the society, in a way.
Truck lights, halt! Surrender or we'll fire!
But honestly, it is, like, near the end of the episode, one thing that always happens is Kirk gets, not really held hostage, not like in a jail cell, but mostly, like, by them, and eventually he's having to use his wits to get away. And although I think the production values of this one and the acting is fairly well, I think this one is alright. This isn't one episode where I feel like say, well, it was goofy, or it was just annoyingly bad, or anything like that, or the, oh my gosh, check this one out. It was just in the middle. But it is alright. But that's just how I feel about these two episodes. What are your thoughts on the episodes The Way to Eden and